What is going on? YouTube, the world, Redditors that do not like my writing or do like my writing in some cases, and Ted, who's been absolutely murdering these best ball drafts. What is going on, buddy? How are you?
What's up, dude? I got $30 left in my account. I was thinking about hitting some Angel Reese
Yeah,
props to
yeah.
potentially grow my wad. And think about it like this: you got $30 left. You put $15 on whatever under Angel Reese has. You build that back up to 100. You reinvest that back into Puppy Three in perpetuity until you limit out.
Are we allowed? We're allowed to do prediction markets in our state, huh? That's how it works.
I have no clue. Half the time my computer won't let me, and
Okay.
half the time it does. I'm not interested in betting WNBA overs or unders, though. I just go to Prize Picks.
For the life of me, I cannot figure out how they snaked that legalese in there that a prediction market is not like betting with a sports book. So that means, right, you're telling me that I can find someone if I take a parlay on like the WNBA, on Swedish racquetball, and on the things President Trump is going to say in his next speech. You're telling me there's someone that's going to take the exact opposite side of that parlay against me. I'm calling shenanigans. I think they're a sports book. Okay, man, you count us down. I'll be ready to hit confirm. You give us the countdown when
Hold
you
on,
are
hold
ready.
on. I'm
Good.
I'm pulling up the chat.
Take your time.
I expect our chat to be popping
Oh,
today
oh,
because we're
totally.
growing in popularity as streamers.
Totally, man. We're gonna. I mean,
All right.
what did Domain hit like 60,000 subs this week? I think we're right
So
behind
we're
him.
almost at 60. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're at 59.
we're right.
If we can get one more sub today through our hard work, we could be over
One
halfway to
thousandth.
100.
We're one
We'll do
thousandth of the way
something
to
for
them.
the 100 sub episode. I promise you, we'll do something.
Yeah.
What that something is, I don't know yet. Okay, you ready? Three, two, one, go.
Some sort of. Oh God, one person. Oh, that's right on the edge. Let's see if we got it. I think
I
we
think
got it.
so.
I think we got it still because it pushed both of us in there.
Oh,
Oh no way. Let's
suck it.
go. We're next to each other. Okay.
It's like
Okay.
3 drafts in a row. This has happened. Underdog knows. They're starting
Yeah.
to throw us next to each other.
I think it's kind of funny. We sit there and snipe each other's stuff. It makes it more interesting.
Well, if
Okay.
you want to talk about game theory or whatever, right? We're gonna have some very, I guess, unique to us combinations when we're doing this because we're just gonna be cannibalizing each other.
Yeah.
So if you're a believer in diversifying your portfolio, this situation forces us to do so.
Okay, let's see. Indecent exposure up and running. There we go. Booyah. Okay, good work, sir. Shout out to Indecent Exposure. I'll say it every time we fire it up because the guy gave us the tool for free. He's been updating it in what seems like a passion project. I mean, obviously, when you're doing something like that, you're hoping to like get it going and make it marketable. But seems like he's just doing it for the love of the game for now, which I respect.
Well, now that we have a tool that we use for underdog, we're serious drafters.
Yeah,
We're not
yeah.
just we're not just some drafting jags.
Dude, I'll be honest. I consider if you're using that in see underdog, I don't care because best ball, like you're dealing with guys that are using pretty advanced data science and stuff. Like, it's just sort of making it a fair fight for you when you go in here with that. Very chalk start. We're gonna go with a very chalk start here. It's just sort of making it a fair fight for you when you go into these things with these tools. But like if you're using that in your home league or in a regular redraft, I think that's such a bitch move. I see these like fantasy pros cheat sheet whatever. I just would never, I would never do that for a redraft league. I think it's cheap. That's why I was hesitant to expand the free Tendies timer to 1 minute per pick. I think 1 minute's too long. I think 30 to 45 seconds is more than enough, but I got complained about it enough that I had to extend to 1 minute. Is the biggest complaint I've gotten through running the leagues for 2 years is I need a minute to make my pick. I don't know. To me, I think that's like a minute so you can check ECR and you can check your little tools and you can,
Yeah,
draft in a
you
way
you
that.
should be you should be allowed to do that in home leagues. When I was the commissioner, for little known fact, I was the second commissioner in a long list of the history of free tennis fantasy leagues go all the way back to our friend Adrian, who is still in the league today. He was the original commissioner.
Mhm.
Then the duties got handed off to me, and I had 2 minutes. 2 minutes on the clock for picks, and I had people complain to me that this is taking too long, and everyone complained. I didn't care. I was kind of like the dictator, and I was like, "Well, you're going to sit there, and you're going to deal with it," because I think that when you are drafting, you shouldn't. Oh, Adrian's in the chat. He says that guy was the best commish. What's up, dude? What is up, Adrian? Are you getting in any best ball this year?
Yeah, and thank you for paying, by the way, Adrian. You were one of the earliest of our original crew. The other guys paid there pretty quickly. I have some $100 double flex leagues if you want to do it, dude. But good to see you. You are the man. I'm very happy to hear from you. I hope life is going all right.
So Brock Bowers goes to the 2-6 there. I was again like in this four spot. I was hoping I'd get some Brock Bowers in the boat, but
So
not
this
to be.
the, the
You got so lucky.
that
That's
is
insane.
that is my dream start from 5. If I can go JSN into Devon Achan, I'm hoping in home leagues like we get enough hype for an AJ Brown or a Drake London that happens. Let's see who Ted swung around and picked. George Pickens, Christian McCaffrey. That is aggressive, sir. Ted gets one of my favorite starts. I think this is the only time where you go robust wide receiver this year. If you can do a Nakua, AJ Brown, or a Chase London stack, that is such a cool pillar of your start. I think in redraft structurally, I would come around and take whatever running backs available to me there. But I love those two guys, dude. If you're doing that, like there's league winning upside on both sides of that, and I do love AJ Brown over London. I don't think that's a debate for me. Bro, my money's
Yep.
locked in there because I don't even have PayPal, Adrian. Come on, man, get a PayPal. You're a professional. I guess I would just call it
Degenerate.
a professional degenerate. I was trying to be polite. You are a professional degenerate, sir. You should be able to move your money around freely.
So this is interesting here. What has occurred is if this falls a certain way, it will be a unique draft strategy for me.
I got limited from PayPal. Were you winning too much, dude? I think it is the most criminal thing I've ever seen in my life. The way that these sports books and these casinos can just outright ban you. Let's see who Ted goes with here because I know he's not a fan of these. I would assume he's going to do his old reliable here. Does he do it? Okay, Trey McBride, one of Ted's favorites. He's been hammering him. You're getting a really good discount on that. It's probably a nice, comfy click. I'm going to go Devonta Smith there with JSN. Really nice volume, really nice floor from this room. Nice anchor running back. Old school eBay days. Oh, interesting. Nice, dude. Well, Adrian, we have $100 double flex this year, man. If you want to do some higher stake stuff, I would love to have you in there. I know you take your stuff seriously. I'm trying to build this thing out. I'm trying to get up to 48 leagues eventually from a $50 to $500 buy-in. So if anyone wants to play some more serious stuff, I think I'm going to have at least $300 slots and maybe another 100. So please put the word out. I would
Adrian,
love to have you guys in there.
I'm in League 15. Just going that one, bro.
Yeah, I'm
Just
down.
going League 15.
I'm down for $100. Okay, follow the link to the Discord in here, and then go into League 15. League 15 is going to be really hard. That is the most serious league we have in all of them. That is like a bunch of champions, a bunch of dudes that are doing this like full time-ish in terms of following fantasy. It's going to be really hard. Whoever wins that one is going to. I have to like think of something special to give them on top of the prize because that's that's going to be the crown jewel of the leagues this year. I might even like name it something different. I don't know. That's a bunch of really cool guys. Should be a really fun social group. We have Javon in there, Doobie, Wes.
I got my cousin in there.
Oh, your cousin's in there. Wes is in there.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's
Shout
gonna
out
be so
Jack
good.
if you're watching.
It's gonna be so good, dude. That's gonna be really fun. Did you see the dude that came out incredibly bullish on Javonte Williams? Said he should be the running back 13 off the board at the 2-3 turn. I know you're pretty warm to Javonte. Are you there yet, or do you think that's a little too high? I'm down for $100 and a blowy. No, Adrian, I'm not doing that. That's an inappropriate comment on YouTube. All right, go ahead.
I like Javonte Williams better than Brees.
Okay.
If Kyron's actually going to be 50-50, I like him better than Kyron.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I like
dude.
him better than Love.
What do we think? What do we think of the Kyron news? That is weird, huh? But again, Sean McVay is one of the least reliable coaches with coach speak in the NFL. That dude just straight up is dishonest at times. I don't know. I don't know how seriously I want to take what he's saying, but he is. That is bearish, man. For I don't know. I'm kind of Kyron curious. Like the last few years, I feel like he's been a comfy pick in the third round. He's sort of like anchored.
Well, dude,
your,
it's like
you know.
we've been hearing how important Blake Corum's going to be since he was a rookie, and that has never materialized into anything meaningful.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so I'm a day one Kyron hater. I've never thought he's good at football, and it's something I've said like pretty consistently on the show. But at the end of the day, it's the Sean McVay running back, and I've just kind of accepted that that's going to be a pick of value. So I'm also seeing Swift bubble up. I'm not sure why that's happening. Because
Menungai picked up that injury, probably, or just people are realizing like the offense is going to be really good. He's still going to get the receiving work. He's a safe pick. I still prefer Monty and Tootin to him. I think Tootin's the hot take there, but I do prefer Tootin.
So I get I'm anchoring down my running back room with Cameron Scatabo, a very risky pick and not something that I would be doing in a redraft, but in a lobby like this, I think it's worth the shot.
I took a falling Waddle. Waddle's been creeping up into like the high 30s, low 40s, so I was pretty happy to get him there. I would have taken Cam if not. That was my cue. Surprised to see Swift.
Waddle left practice today.
Yeah, that's
He
all right.
pulled up running a route and went straight to the locker room. Are you concerned about? I
No,
saw someone
no.
kind of make a little dissertation about how I guess Waddle, how he picks up so many injuries, which has been like a thing that's happened to him. Oh man, I lost Monty there right at the last second.
And Tootin. That's a tough run. That's a tough run. And ETN went early. Swift went early. I think
I'm just
Judkins
going
or
to
Bucky are
continue to
good.
build this. No,
Okay,
I'm going to
there you
continue to build the wide receiver room and go with JMO. It's my wide receiver 3.
go. Okay. I enjoyed some of the. I have not taken really any of this guy this year, but I've enjoyed how aggressively the Browns beat is saying Judkins is going to be a bell cow this year. I don't know how much it's worth in Cleveland. I don't think it's worth a lot. But when I have three wide receivers like this, and I have a high volume, high upside guy, I'll take a shot on Judkins. That is the first time I've taken him this year. He's not one of my guys this year. I just don't. I would rather be taking receiver at this cost, but I don't like the running backs that come back around to me. Trevion, I still believe is 50-50. Bucky Irving, I'm getting warmer to, but there's still the risk that that's a three-headed monster there. So I don't know if I'm too excited. I do think the news has been only good for Bucky this summer. I would say there's been nothing that makes me more nervous about him than when the year started. If anything, I'm probably sizably more excited about Bucky than I was when the summer started. I just still don't know if it's a click I'm making compared to some of those really good receivers in the area. How do you feel about redraft Bucky today as we stand? I mean, obviously things can change. If they come out and they're he's getting 20 touches a game, he's going to shoot up to the third round.
What I can tell you is Bucky is by far the best running back in that backfield,
yeah.
right? So we're just kind of playing the scheme game with that one. In terms of if we're just talking Bucky, Hendo, and Judkins, for me, that's probably
as players or as fantasy prospects.
No, it's fantasy prospects. Who are you taking there? How do I order that? Judkins is last place for me. I'm not interested in that this year. And then Bucky and Hendo were kind of close. I think I lean Hendo though. Is my first pick there, just because nothing that I saw last year changed my mind really about Ramondre Stevenson. The fact he's more expensive kind of blows my mind.
I really I'm not an ETN guy. I would have gone Jacobs there, but I love this construction. CeeDee Lamb, Chris Olave, Marion Hampton. Again, here I would have gone probably Higgins. I like a little bit better, but that's okay. No, I don't like it. I like Olave better. I like Flowers and Ibuk, but they were gone. Ladd went early. Lamb, Olave, Hampton, ETN, Chris Watson, Tyson. There goes Washington. Maybe we get a BTJ share here if there's a quarterback run. I will take some
BTJ won at 5-6, brother.
Oh,
BTJ
God, he went early.
Gone.
Oh, God, I didn't notice he went early. Okay. Do I want to can take my Jalen Hurts stack, but I might wait and see if it comes back around to me. Prefer if Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't go here. If he did, I'll probably just take my Jalen Hurts stack. Okay, we will do wide receiver 4, Marvin Harrison Jr. And we will see if Jalen Hurts slides a bit. Probably should have just taken him there. I would guess he might not come back to me. I don't realize it is an 8-pick queue because I'm more in the middle, but who knows? We can hope. We can hope and dream.
Went down to get some Tony Pollard there. That's a gross click, but I am progressively getting more out on the Jalen Warren business. I think that's going to be Dowdle, actually, is where I'm starting to lean there. And with the quarterbacks I have available, Jalen Hurts, I could have taken him for correlation. He just goes right there, but I don't think you need correlation so much with Jalen Hurts because he scores so many fantasy points with his legs. And I had to catch up at running back.
Yeah, that's a bummer to see Hurts go because I'm not really a fan of this range of guys that much, to be honest with you. I was hoping, like, there were so many other quarterbacks on the board. I was hoping he would come back to me. He does not. I mean, this is pretty straightforward if that's the way it go. Oh no, oh, okay, I thought you were for sure gonna go Drake May with your AJ Brown stack there. Okay, we're just gonna take an uncorrelated Drake May. Try to stack them up later with something, but that's 10, 11 picks past ADP. That's a pretty good fall. Feel pretty I mean, again, I'm not as much of a Judkins guy, but I do feel pretty good if he's paired with Devon Achane because I think he gives you some floor there. And there's like a world where he gets the third 3-down workload this year. So we have Drake May, Devon Achane, Quinshon Judkins, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, Marvin Harrison Jr. Very strong receiver room. Nice 2 running backs I would be happy to sport. Let's see how Ted's doing. Catching up at running back, 3 rock solid receivers. Jamo Williams in best ball is much more of a pick for me, but like if you're doing redraft and these are your first 2 receivers and then you put Jamo as your flex or your 3rd wide receiver and like start 3 wide receiver, that's where I like Jamo. That way you're not relying on him, and when he spikes for you, he's probably going to just nuke your week and you're going to win. I do not like him as much as like your wide receiver 2 or even in a single flex where you do kind of really need him. Feels a little weird to me. I'm just not a big JMO guy this year, even though he has been a top 20 receiver and actually a wide receiver 1 last year. He was wide receiver 11. Just kind of an archetype of player I find to be a pretty easy avoid in redraft.
Well, you said you'd never draft another player like Jameson Williams last year, and then all of a sudden, every week you just aggressively argued to get him in the start column. So.
Well, do you remember though what happened? Like I ended up trading for him. I bought low on JMO like everywhere, and then he exploded in the last half of the season. He started for me in the championship in League 7, which I won, but I don't think he had a big week there. But he got me to the ship, and he got me to a 3rd place game in the other league I traded for him. But he's not the kind. I don't like that kind of player, dude, who doesn't feel good. You won't like this. I know that's not your kind of thing. I love that turn. RJ Harvey and Brooks. I think if you're a double hero drafter and you follow up with that in like a 2-flex league, you're getting serious ceiling there. You just need one of them to hit. Even if you think that they're both like 50-50 shots or whatever, if one of them hits, you're going to have a really quality flex.
Well, I don't see any way RJ Harvey pays off in like that massive way, right? Like he's going to be a 3rd down back, and if J.K. Dobbins goes down for whatever reason, like I feel like you're just he's probably still going to be a 3rd down back. Like he was just inefficient running the ball and not good last year.
I think the bet there is just that Sean Payton, right, so well utilizes that receiving back role that there's upside there. Okay, so we're kind of building like a boring running volume room. But let's stick with it. Let's follow the news that Rico Dowdle's the starter in Pittsburgh. I am interested in both Pittsburgh running backs. I like both of them at value. I'm willing to take both of them at cost in the 7th or 8th round. And I actually think there's like real upside there. What I'm not interested in is their receiving group as a whole. I'm not interested in their receivers. I'm not interested in their tight ends. I think that's where I'm going to chase some Pittsburgh production, though. I do think I'm going to have some Rico Dowdle and Jalen Warren exposure come redraft.
So I was looking to build a mega Detroit Lions stack there, but Laporta went 2 picks before me. So I went and got my pick to be this year's Javonte Williams in J.K. Dobbins. I think everyone's just overthinking that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the thinking with R.J. Harvey almost around before J.K. Dobbins, but that's what rooms are inclined to do now.
Yeah, I think if Dobbins stayed, to me, I like the Dobbins bet because it's very like binary to me. Does he stay healthy or does he not? If he stays healthy, you're getting an absolute crush at ADP. And then, well, actually, it's really not binary, right? Because if you get 8 weeks of RB2 production in the 9th round, that's pretty good. Like you'll take that even if it's only a half a season. Let's see what Ted does here before we bounce over to our board. Matt Stafford, okay. I was gonna go with a stack here. We will see if the stack gets back to us and instead opt for. Yeah, we're gonna take some value in Kyle Monangai. I think that's a pretty good price on him. Probably a little bit nervous with the injury. Nice balance start here. A 1-4-4. We'll see what comes back around to us, because when you have JSN, I'm pretty comfortable going with Sam Darnold, and then we also have MHJ, which maybe opens up the brisket later. I don't know if you're ever
Yeah,
excited about the
that that's
brisket, but
a that's a great price on the guy, dude. If I
yeah.
wasn't, I'm actually surprised I was able to get the running backs I did there. Like I wasn't gonna take a fifth running back, but I love the prospects of the guy, and I would not be worried whatsoever about that injury.
No, I'm not. I think it's just this weird thing that happens this time of year where we're all so desperate for the season to get going and everyone's mainlining content, right, really hard. And so
Yep.
people get really reactive to like anything because their senses are all peaked up and they're all, they're all jacked up. Let's see what Ted is up to. Oh no, you're not for a while. God, I thought you were before me.
Fine before you one way, so you're gonna be picking again, which means I will get sniped again surely. I don't know. This one felt like you didn't snipe me too much there. Um, like obviously Waddle is one of my guys this year, but because of my start, I felt like I had to go running back there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. I,
Marvin Harrison kind of hurts. I like Marvin Harrison this year.
I like the price tag on Marvin. If you're getting him in the sixth, seventh round, man, in a redraft, like you guys should take the shot that he has a year three. We used to talk about the year three breakout, and this year we have two. One that I think is a proven NFL premium talent, Brian Thomas Jr., one that was supposed to be a premium NFL talent, Marvin Harrison Jr. We have two guys entering year three, and everyone's kind of disgusted by the idea of taking shots on him, and I think that's wrong. I think that's absolutely incorrect. I think you should be taking tries at both at cost. I do think the Cardinals, though, just because of the offensive context, like the floor there is zero. The Cardinals can, in fact, go to zero if things really go south. Where I don't know if the Jags can, but Ted thinks the capacity is there. If certainly, I guess if
Well,
if yeah,
Trevor has not been very good the majority of his
yeah,
career,
yeah,
right? Like that's
yeah,
a pretty giant like variable. I trust Liam Cohen.
yeah. So I guess I shouldn't say they can't go to zero. They can. And actually, do you remember I remember Collins segment on that. Like, they're gonna go get a new quarterback. Liam's gonna go get his guy. This is not his guy. When in the first like 4 or 5 weeks when Trevor looked like dog water. But it did seem like to me, perhaps I'm incorrect in my assessment. It did seem like to me he really took to the system at some point and like started playing pretty good ball. It seemed like he rounded some sort of corner and like understanding of what he was doing in the scheme.
He was missing a lot of deep balls.
Well, yeah, he's
BTJ was open
yeah,
a lot more last year.
yeah, yeah,
Trevor misses a lot of throws, and I
yeah,
think he has like a 2% interception rate or something.
yeah. He's not a good deep ball thrower.
Oh
Okay, so
man, I want to golf there.
Bo Nix here is an incredible value, but we're going to take the stack with Dobbs and May just so we have some sort of correlation. And Dobbs is like one of my favorite wide receiver.
Yanni, you messed up, buddy. You messed up. You
What?
should go check your rankings.
What?
You go check your tiers.
What do you mean?
Go look at the board.
Who was there?
Go look at the draft board.
What? What did I do? Oh, Diggs. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Little sneaky Diggs. I'm taking Diggs over Romeo Dobbs, bro.
Yeah, I think that's the right call, but I like the stack with May. I do want to have a stack, and I do think Dobbs will be his wide receiver too. But certainly, I mean, yeah, it's not in a vacuum. It's not close. I just wanted some sort of May correlation. And Diggs was actually in my queue. He was one or two back in my queue. That was also a really good price on Bo Nix. Like, probably could have pulled there, but I do have the Sam Darnold stack coming up later. Sam Darnold has had like 4,000 yards the last 2 years. That's a quietly pretty good player that we've had. Okay, we got to let indecent exposure know this thing keeps glitching out when I try to build the queue. That has been an issue. Not like a big issue. I'm still a fan of you, man. I'm still a fan of your products. Just does keep glitching out.
Oh my god, dude, this guy takes Cam Ward as his quarterback 3. I guess because he has Wandale Robinson. I'm gonna go ahead and take uncorrelated Baker Mayfield. I don't care.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I'm happy with that in the 11th round.
For me, we're going to anchor our tight end room with an unstacked Mark Andrews. I think there's plenty of tight end upside, touchdown upside there, irrespective of having him stacked or not. Okay, 2 good choices for us back at the turn. We'll see if we get back. Gonna reset the no, wait. Okay, figured out. All right. Ted absolutely crushing it here with these last four picks. Dobbins, Stafford, Diggs, Mayfield. That range of quarterback is exactly why in best ball or in like redraft too, I'm just pretty happy to be doing my shopping late here. I would feel fine going into, again, I'm not a Stafford guy this year necessarily. Like I might make a different pick for redraft or whatever. But I would be perfectly fine if you go into a season with Stafford and Mayfield as your two quarterbacks, or Goff and Mayfield, or Nix and Mayfield, whatever. I think that's a pretty good room. I think that's a room that
Yeah,
you can
Stafford is not a guy I'm probably interested in making a bet on in redraft, but this is
no.
because it's a Puka roster. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yep.
would have liked to add Laporta in the eighth, and then I would have come around and taken Goff in the ninth, so that way I have JMO,
Mm-hmm.
Laporta, and Goff. But really, like when you take Puka Nakua at the 1-4, like that pick needs to be
Yeah.
really, really good in order for this roster to be anything. So I feel like the Stafford correlation is a little bit more important there.
Yeah. I see people trying to talk themselves into bearishness with Puka. Just stop. That is, you have to understand when you're looking at like historical outliers as a fantasy producer. Like Puka Nakua is a historical outlier, and you shouldn't like. I also saw people at some of the comments I got on the running back article I dropped was, if you're such a fan of the running back start, should I look at CMC or Jonathan Taylor over Puka or Jamar Chase? No. Okay, so there goes Sam Darnold and Malik Willis, my two stacked quarterbacks. I was hoping one of those guys got back to me. That would have been nice. Such is life. They go earlier than expected and uncorrelated, but that, okay. Good play. Good play to you guys. Enjoy that. Ugh. Unstacked, uncorrelated CJ Stroud. Unstacked, uncorrelated Daniel Jones. It's Drake May. I don't really care necessarily. Like, he's pretty consistent, but that's gross.
I'm starting to kind of get into, at least in these lobbies, right? Like, if you have a good quarterback value, like for example, you getting Drake May at the 7.5, even if it is uncorrelated, like I don't really care so
No,
much.
no, not with a guy like that. No, but I mean, I do like, to me, because it's a combination of things, right? I'm actually high on Dobbs. I think Dobbs is going to be a pretty productive fantasy asset this year as the wide receiver too there. So I will stack May with like someone I'm already high on, but like, does he outproduce Diggs? Almost certainly not, right? So Hunter Henry with Drake May is now a stack that I'm a little bit skittish about because that rookie's getting like serious ink from the beat, um, which has been sort of noteworthy to me. Romeo drops. Adrian, first of all, how dare you? Second of all, I understand that he's not necessarily, and you're a Packers fan, right? So you're probably particularly jaded in that regard. They did break him off, dude. They broke him off like he's a player they're really going to use. Okay. Yeah, we're just. I don't really like anyone else in this range. We're just going to throw on a third quarterback unstacked. I don't normally do three quarterback builds, but we'll do a Daniel Jones there. Um, I was not a fan of what I was seeing on the board. I'm pretty happy with my balanced build. I could have gone tight end there. I go tight end there a lot though. Um,
What about Jalen Naylor? That was your guy, man.
yeah, yeah, and not in here though. He's gonna have a hard time cracking that lineup.
The other one in this range that I really want to click is Woody Marks. Like I feel like if you're gonna make a
No,
late running back ad, like he already has like a role, I think, in that offense.
yeah,
I don't think it's gonna be 50-50 like the initial beat report was, but he'll be doing something.
yeah.
And then I mean, if Monty goes down, in theory, you have a lottery ticket. I don't think Woody Marks' body can handle that though.
No,
Like,
no. Maybe I should have gone Marks to stack with Stroud. I didn't like that report that I watched an interview with one of their beat writers this week. He said he thinks Jawar Jordan is the backup if he stays there, which is interesting. I don't know. I probably should have gone Marks there, maybe, or Bigsby's a good pick. But Strange went. Strange has been my guy in that price. So whatever, it's a very rare three quarterback build for me. I typically don't do it. I think it's kind of over investment in the position. But yeah, the Romeo Dobbs thing, Adrian, as I understand, right? You certainly have feelings about that. Josh McDaniels has intimated that he plans to put Romeo Dobbs as his power slot role. Like, and if you think about like what Julian Edelman did in that role, if you think about just what some of the New England slot receivers over their time there did in terms of usage, in terms of production, run after the catch, all that sort of thing. Plus, they have a really hard schedule this year. Again, like for best ball, it's a little bit different. But for me, that's like quietly one of those things where if I can get him as my wide receiver 5 in redraft, if you have a 3 wide receiver, 2 flex league, or 2 flex, 2 wide receiver, something like that, I think that's a cool guy to tack on the back of stuff. Not some huge target of mine, just someone who I keep mixing in, especially on a Drake May roster, because I think there's maybe a little bit of upside there. And like AJ Brown's had trouble staying healthy. I know Kayshon Boutte would slide in as the X if he goes down, but if not, I like Romeo Dobbs to get a lot of work if AJ Brown misses any time. So I don't know, maybe not the smartest, like maybe not the craziest bet or whatever. It's just one that I've like been very fixated on lately for whatever reason.
You've been fixated on it because there was a beat report that he would get the slot role. That's the reason.
Yeah. That's an exciting thing to me, dude. I like that slot work from McDaniels. I think that's a real thing. We don't like Hunter Henry, but if he falls all the way back here on the stack, I'll do it.
The other thing you did with taking the third quarterback is you boxed yourself out of Brissett. I was kind of worried that I'd have to jockey to get Brissett from you as my quarterback 3. Now I can just have that for free, which is nice.
You can. I hear you. I hope he does well. I have him on a dynasty team. Yeah, dude, I think that's a pretty good. I don't think you should totally write him off this year. I think if he falls to you as your wide receiver 5, like in our format, start 2, flex 1, or in the double flex leagues, I think it could be interesting. It's certainly more interesting to me than like he's going at a range of like Higgins, Jaden Higgins, or what's the Raiders guy on the Jacoby Myers. He's going near Jacoby Myers. Okay, so we will take 12, about a round of ADP value on Hunter Henry there. I don't like Hunter Henry this year. I think he loses his gig at some point this year, but I think he'll catch some touchdowns. That's kind of what he does. So we'll get him.
I have a new upside round 18 quarterback, by the way.
Who is your
new
upside?
challenger has appeared that is not Fernando Mendoza.
Who is it? Or do I have to wait?
It's Tug Watson.
No.
Tug Watson threw 7 touchdowns at camp today. He was 14 of 19. 7 touchdowns and no interceptions at camp today. I think that he's going to be the starter. Dude, Shador was so bad last year. Why would you continue to roll that out? And by the way, now that that's happening, and I'm like saying, hey, maybe there's a little beat of life here in the Browns passing game, I am going to be excited to take Jerry Jeudy here in the 15th round. If Tug Watson can actually get it together and we can get some action out of the Browns passing game, all of a sudden your Denzel Boston shares are more alive. I think my take on the Browns has to foundationally change.
Okay.
If Deshaun, dude, who would you rather have as your starting quarterback? Shador, Sanders, or Tug?
I would be.
Yeah, Adrian Tug's still on the Browns. All his money's guaranteed. They can't drop him.
Tug. Yeah, they can't. They gave him a quarter billion guaranteed. And I don't know if you know the way it works, Adrian, escrow in the NFL. The way it works is you have to then put that money straight into an escrow account the day you signed it. So that owner had to go down, take out a loan against his assets, and deposit $250 million in an account for Deshaun Watson that day. So that has been sitting there percolating for him as he does nothing for the Browns. I actually feel so bad for Browns fans, dude. I thought that was
dude, I think he's going to play this year. His competition is the Keebler elf, Dylan Gabriel, and Shador, who is a complete zero.
The Keebler elf. He looks like a racist Keebler elf. That's what Dylan Gabriel looks like. Okay, so
that guy out-ferged me.
Yeah, he out-ferged me too.
16-1 Ferguson.
Oh, man. Good play, sir. Good play.
This is where, I would start shopping for an uncorrelated Fernando Mendoza. I think that, again, like, what is the quarterback board here? It's Fernando Mendoza, Geno Smith, Tua, Shador, Kirk Cousins, Penix. There's only one guy with upside there, and that is Mendoza. Other than round 18 tug, if you want to do that. So I guess maybe. Oh no, Brissett just went. Brissett went in the 15th, so some guy went up for him. Okay.
Yeah, again, I probably could have just stopped at two quarterbacks, like, but that is also part of why I reach. Is there's this weird run where if you don't get your guys locked down that you were hoping to get locked down, all of a sudden you kind of panic and go, "Oh God, that's not what I." Oh, cool, Tank Dell one pick before me. God damn it. Okay, we will go third tight end, Kate Otten, one of my favorites back here.
And some guy came and took
You're
Mendoza
stacked.
too, which so I'm screwed. What I'm gonna do here then is I'm making another Wicks bet.
Yeah. Yep. Did you hear he's killing
I
it in
don't feel
camp,
great
dude?
about it.
He's killing it in camp. I feel at 190. I feel amazing about Wicks at 190. So let's see how Ted recovered from. Did a double anchor, double hero, as Reddit told me you're never to say. There's no philosophy behind double hero. Yes, there is, you fucking idiot. It's when you take two ones, you stick them in your lineup, and then you build around them later.
Oh,
Nakua, AJ Brown, Williams, Diggs, McMillan, Tesla, Judy, Wicks, very nicely built room. And then gets one of my absolute favorites is Brenton Strange. I think Brenton Strange is one of the sleeper of all sleepers this year. I think Baker Mayfield is one of the best quarterback twos you could possibly take. Yeah, pretty good draft from Ted. And then Cam Scatterbo is just, again, same question as Dobbins. Like, is he really Cam or is he not? If he is, you're getting a really good price on him. He very well could be a league winner.
dude, I just got sniped on Kalen Black. I thought there was no way Kalen Black was gonna be off the board. It's 17-4, but he's just the price on him is getting more and more aggressive as we keep going here. So I'm going all the way down for RB5, Braylon Allen. Like I went way down the queue there to go get him, but I am interested in that.
Nice. I go with Kayshawn Booty as my wide receiver six. Get a little triple stack with Drake May. Pretty good. So we have one more pick here. We will see. I'm very excited about the prospects of Pat Bryant overtaking Cortland Sutton. That continues to be something I'm watching. Just looking for someone to say something about it because it's interesting. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's interesting to me that it has creeped up in the. Okay, yeah. It's interesting that it's crept up in the beat so precipitously. It seems like, I don't know, maybe they are getting ready to not dump, but like really ramp back what Cortland Sutton is to that offense. I know you, Ted, have been very out on Cortland Sutton all summer, so that would be a vindication for you because you've been saying you just won't do it.
Well, I mean, the reason I was out on Cortland Sutton is I think that
Vindication.
the Broncos they paid a king's ransom to bring in Jalen Waddle. I think that if the team pays future first round picks and multiple assets to bring in another wide receiver, they're not happy with your production. And Cortland Sutton just, he was 2 years ago, he was okay. Last year, he was okay. But to me, it seems like they want to move in a different direction there. And that's fine.
I don't know, man. Pat Bryant kind of ate his lunch at times last year. Do you remember when like there was a period where he just wasn't really being used as the one? So yeah, I think now and again, you get credit for being there far earlier than I was. I think now I just sort of, even in best ball where I was sort of taking Cortland Sutton in the eighth, I think I'm just going to kind of chill on that. And honestly, for redraft, he already was undraftable to me, but I think you're crazy if you're taking Cortland Sutton in redraft now. To me, that's like a handcuff wide receiver you're taking in the eighth round. There's just no way I'm doing that.
Let's see what Yanni does for his last pick here. He is one away.
Okay.
Torrey Horton goes absolute zero of a pick.
That's one of my favorite round 18 picks. I'm gonna make another one of mine because I don't have Baker. When I have Baker, it's always Ted Hurst, and I think someone's gonna be happy about that in a minute. I'm gonna take Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is one of my favorite round 18 picks because he is the last of the Mohicans unsigned. Does he end up with our own San Francisco 49ers? Maybe, but he's also projected to go to the Colts. So that may be a
While
Daniel
it
Jones,
would
Keenan
make
Allen
sense for
stack.
me to take Ted Hurst here,
To
to
shut
correlate
Tug,
with Baker Mayfield,
Tug
I'm getting
Watson.
Tug.
All right,
I want to stand on business here.
shout out Adrian with the God of Hedonism tattooed on his forearm. Adrian and Deshaun Watson are fellow travelers in some ways. Okay, so what does Ted do to build this thing out? Two pillar wide receivers in Puka Nakua, AJ Brown, Trey McBride. I think all the downside is packed in with Trey McBride. I think you are buying Trey McBride at his floor. He still gets Brissett back, all the upside in the world. Again, maybe I don't like tight end at this range, but I think like Brock Bowers at 18 to 20 or Trey McBride on the other side of the three. I think Trey McBride's probably the better value there. Cam Scattaboo and J.K. Dobbins. Two picks I love because they're simple bets. If they're healthy, they're going to crush. Williams, excellent in best ball. Two volume backs. Again, I probably like Pollard a little more than Hubbard, but I think there's actually a little more upside with both of these guys than the people think. Goes high on Diggs coming off the news. Stafford, Mayfield, Tug Watson. Very interesting quarterback room. That would be a weird blunt rotation. McMillan, he gets McMillan, and then Ted hits this pocket that we've been hitting as a collective really, really hard in here. Brenton Strange is a tremendous value around 150. You guys should go and look at the coach speak. Here's something you can do on ChatGPT. Any player you're curious about, ask ChatGPT what the coaching staff and what the beat has been saying about them lately, and that'll pull you sourced. It's really cool. It's a cool way to see this whole matrix of information about him. Do that with Brenton Strange and look at what the Jags have been saying after they paid him. Tesla, Judy, Wicks, fantastic. Braylon Allen, fantastic. Deshaun Watson, I don't know what to say about that. This is a draft. Again, we all love our own drafts, but I'm pretty harsh on mine sometimes. Yo, is our draft time set yet? Yes, Adrian, check the app.
Yeah, they're all in the Discord. So get in the Discord to go to draft times.
Behave, Adrian. Read the rules of the Discord. There's rules, and I have to follow them. I cannot be cool about that. There's rules. JSN, Devon A-Chain, Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, Quinshawn Judkins, Marvin Harrison Jr., Drake May, Dowdle, Monungai, Dobbs, Andrews, Stroud, Danny Dimes, Henry, Coleman, Otten, Booty, Allen. I love that draft. I would be really happy if that's how I fill out. I think this one's going to be pretty good. Probably overkill at quarterback, but bunch of guys I'm really happy with. We are going to roll another one. The puppy's in full swing. We are going.
Hold on. Let me get in there, dude. I'm kind of excited about like around 15 Judy and around 18 Tug. Who do you think has that correlation?
Dude. We both agree on. we both agree on Judy. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be in the Deshaun Watson, swimming in the Deshaun Watson waters, but I may. You tell me.
All right, you ready?
Yep. Count it down.
3, 2, 1, go.
Bang.
Yep, I think we're in the same room again. Waiting for 3 spots. 2 spots. No, 1 spot. Come on, give me the number 1 overall pick. I deserve it. It's been a while since I got to draft more Gibbs.
8. Please don't tell me we're... No way!
Yeah.
No way! Okay, so there's a 1 in 6 chance that we draft next to each other, and we've done it 4 times in a row. So that is a 1 in 1,296 chance of pulling that 4 times in a row between me and Ted. 1 in 6 to the 4th power. That is hilarious. God, 1 in 1,296 that we pull back to back to back. Hopefully that luck extends to the whenever the next time I rip a pack of trading cards is. It's probably going to be years, but... That is about the odds to get, fun fact, that is about the odds to get the special illustration rare Gengar out of Ascended Heroes. Okay. Want a running back start. As I've said before, I'm way irresponsibly overweight on James Cook, so we're going to chill out on that a little bit, but I would prefer a running back start from here. We'll consider Amon-Ra or Taylor.
That's great because I get more James Cook.
You do get more James Cook.
I'm just going to keep loading up. I think he's like at 28% of my portfolio right now.
Yeah, because again, I was just taking him like aggressively after pick 6 in here, so I have quite a bit.
As you should. I don't think you should diversify just for diversifying until you get to a certain critical mass of drafting like you have.
Yeah, that's
then
what it
maybe
is.
You can.
That's what it is. I hit that, dude, 150, 100, and, approaching, you're probably going to end at 200 drafts, something like that. Like, yeah, I want a little bit of diversity. You're not supposed to take, like, crazy 300% over expectation stands in the first round. I mean, I've done it. I'm at like 27%. Where are my percentage? 27%. So I've certainly done it, but you're not supposed to.
I feel like Christian McCaffrey at 5 is starting to become chalk now. I'm seeing that more and more, and JSN is still on the board. That's actually insane. I think we're trying to outthink the room with this JSN thing. Like, oh, Kubiak's gone. He's gonna go back to 0. I don't think you get that out of the box.
No.
You don't put that back in the box once it's come out.
No, dude. People need to understand. People need to understand what a special talent JSN was. He was in a wide receiver room with, I believe it was Chris Olave, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Garrett Wilson. I believe that was the 4, and they all pointed to JSN as the most talented receiver in the room. Do you understand like what that means when those 4 guys worked out together and the quality of those 4 players, and they all inarguably said JSN was the best one of them? Like, dude, that is a generation-defining talent. I think we need to be really careful about writing guys off like that. For some reason, where I'm at with JSN is I'm just nervous about, like, I do think the offense regresses a little bit because I think Clint Kubiak's one of the best play callers in the game. I do think their defense is really, really good and they don't need to air it out as much. And then, like, I think the weapons around him got somewhat better this year, at least in terms they committed to Shaheed really hard. Maybe that matters, maybe it doesn't. The running game got a lot worse, though, so does that mean he gets fed more in the short routes? Just for some reason, I'm, like, mildly nervous about JSN is what I would call it. I'm certainly not avoiding him in drafts. I'm just mildly nervous about it.
So that is my first James Cook, Ken Walker combo in the first 2 rounds. I'm actually thrilled about that.
That's cool. Yeah, so I don't know. That's where I'm at with JSN. That's how I feel with JSN. I can't figure out why. Maybe I just need to get over it. I very often end up anchoring with Emeka Egbuka here. I wouldn't mind a little Zay Flowers if I can get back to him and see what the board gives me.
And then I'm seeing Brock Bowers continue to creep up. Now he's like a mid-first rounder. So I just don't get any Brock Bowers. It kills me.
You know what that dude's saying to himself when he makes that pick? I'm going to get the old JSN and the new JSN. Get the Brock Bowers JSN combo.
Trying to look here. So the guy at 1.5 gets Achane to fall to him, I guess, at the 2.8. That's a pretty unique one. I feel like you usually shouldn't see those 2 paired together.
Well, see, you do.
Now I'm seeing Neighbors also is like a chalk, like end of the 2nd round pick. Good luck with that, guys. I won't be following you into battle there.
Dude, we don't know. Like, again, I love Neighbors as much as the next guy. We don't know if they're gonna take him and like, oh God, you killed me, dude. This guy contents right here. This guy contents pretty Ricky. We don't know if they're going to take Neighbors and go, his knee feels a little weird and it drags in 2 or 3 weeks in the season. And then what if they go, well, we're going to do 80% snaps for another week or 2. Like, for all we know, we could miss 4 to 5 weeks in Neighbors. I'm a little bit more hesitant than everyone else is about that. What I'm hoping is they confirm that Rice is 100% healthy coming into the season. And if they confirm Rice is 100% healthy, my 2 preferred picks there are going to be Collins and Rice at the turn.
Like, look at that guy. He started Nakua, London, Rice.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Tremendous. We'll track him and see how he finishes it. Very good work. This guy, high testosterone, my friend. Christian McCaffrey, Devon Achane, Breece Hall. Let's go, sir.
And Breece Hall will not be something I'm clicking.
So here I'm certainly hoping that Zay Flowers makes it back to me. I know Chris Olave is a more popular pick. But Zay Flowers has been another one who's just getting so much steam. I don't think he's going to be... there goes Javonte Williams. I'm telling you, dude, the Sharp community is steaming up Javonte. Saying that needs to be someone we're taking more of.
Well, dude, this guy with JSN and Bowers is going to fall ass backwards into... See, no, you get sniped on Flowers.
We're going to make Ted very happy here because I know he won't take this guy. We're going to take Jeremiah Love. Jonathan Taylor.
That's actually who I was clicking. So you got me.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I'll take Jeremiah Love, fellas. If we are in redraft season and Jeremiah's going post pick 30, I will go ahead and trust I keep using the feminist term, the historicity. of first five draft pick running backs. I trust that trend. I believe that eventually talent will win out, and he will be a producing at an RB1 level receiver.
It just seems weird to me,
Or
like just in a vacuum. If you said, "Who do you want between Jeremiah Love and Josh Jacobs?" Like it's not close to me. I still want Josh Jacobs. Um,
yeah,
I just thought it's kind of with Jeremiah Love. Like I don't know his role in the offense that he's in concerns me the most. But because you have Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor, he's kind of like a Luther Burden-ish pick to me, where like we know the player is talented. It's just kind of like, sorry, I'm kind of focused on my pick here. I'm gonna go with another Tet share.
yeah, I would have taken Tetaroa there. We will do Jalen Waddle again. Pretty funky build when you go with these three running back builds. It kind of blocks me out of going elite quarterback at the turn. If I had gotten Flowers, my big goal here would have been Lamar. So I have a Lamar Flowers Henry thing going. But that's kind of out of the question once you get to the point where, once you start with three running backs, you need to follow up with two wide receivers, in my view. This guy gets a tremendous value. Again, I probably would go. I certainly would go Jacobs over Williams. I probably prefer, I prefer Love to Javonte Williams still, which is I guess becoming a hotter take as the days go by. But very good start still. If you go Amon Ra to AJ Brown into these two, you can definitely win a championship in redraft this year. Terry's another one I'm seeing people get a little hyped for, deservedly so. Love some Terry McLaurin in 2026.
Yeah, the
Yep.
market's kind of catching up on that. Last year was a dud, and I feel like some of us that run the show that aren't me were kind of coping on the Terry stuff for a little too long. But fresh season, I'm more interested, and I don't think that Diggs getting added to Washington really affects our Terry stocks at all. Like obviously, it's another competent wide receiver. Like because once they were out of the Antonio Williams business, they were looking at once they were out of the Brandon Ayuk business, they were looking at wide receiver two Antonio Williams, which sounds disgusting to me.
Very good follow up. Love that. Love that. If you're going to go three wide receivers and then you get those two on the follow up, that's wonderful. I think you could. I think you could do redraft like that if you want to. It's a weaker double hero build, but it still is a double hero build. This one a little bit more questionable, but still good. Still really good. Puka Nacua, Drake London, Rashi Rice, Travis Etienne, Trevion Henderson. Judkins, I never understand the fourth running back in the first 5 rounds. When you go robust, you're guaranteed to not take a score from one of your top 5 picks every week. I truly will never understand that decision making. Okay, we are on the clock. No stacks to chase here. I continue to go with one of my absolute favorites at cost here, and that is Christian Watson. Love Christian Watson this year. Keep jamming him.
I'm thrilled at Bucky Irving 5'9".
Yep.
Like, yeah, that's kind of because you started running back, that pick wasn't really available to you.
Yep.
And then I think that the wide receivers that I'm shopping for here in the 6th round are gonna be available. Like, because I could have just went DJ Moore because I need another wide receiver and it correlates with Josh Allen, but I'm not as high on DJ Moore, so it's like, and there he goes anyway, so that's fine. So now I have a cluster that I'm pretty happy with here, and I'm guaranteed going to get at least one of the guys in my queue. There goes Parker Washington at the 6-1. That is bad process. Don't do it, man. Perfect. All right, so now I get to lock up some round 6 Roma Dunze, which I'm really happy about. I think it's very, I won't say very likely, but I think there's a very good chance that he is just the guy to own there in Chicago. Then you get some Brian Thomas shares in there. Good job, buddy. I like that.
Yeah. I'm bummed to see obviously those are my two preferred 6th round picks, Tyson and Washington, but they are getting steam. I do think though
You got forced into taking the better wide receiver.
in your opinion, certainly the better wide receiver. I think certainly the better wide receiver. I don't know about the better fantasy asset.
I was hearing one of the hot topics of Parker Washington lately has been, oh well, Liam Cohen's slot receiver is such a valuable fantasy asset. I'm chasing the next Chris Godwin, right? I'm chasing a Chris Godwin season. What about a Mike Evans season? Like X receivers in
Mike
Liam
Evans.
Cohen's scheme aren't. Yeah, yeah, Mike Evans. Like those are not bad receivers, and Trevor just missed Brian Thomas last year a lot. Like obviously Brian Thomas had the yips. He also was a bust at cost. But like, do you think Brian Thomas, the range of outcomes could be a Mike Evans type season there? I think that's totally possible. You know,
Mike Evans was a mid-range to low end too during the Liam Cohen years. When Chris Godwin was on the field, Mike Evans produced like fringe RB2 numbers for the most part. And then when Liam Cohen got to the Rams, Woods Bobby Trees dropped off in favor of Cooper Kupp.
interesting. Okay, well, I'm still making the Brian Thomas bet.
No, I
I'm
know
gonna
you are.
continue to do that.
I'm just saying that the context around it. Okay. I think this is another one where I've sort of been like picking at what I think is like a market inefficiency in terms of reacting to news, just making sure we don't have any stacks here I'm going to miss. Alec Pierce, I believe, is going to be out there week 1, and again, not a redraft pick unless he's like down at the 8-9 turn. For best ball though, yeah, I'll keep jamming Alec Pierce, the ultimate boom bust receiver in the 7-8 turn here. Not like a player I'm a big fan of, but they certainly broke him off this year. I don't know. I think he's going to be a pretty good player. I think he's going to be a pretty good fantasy asset, all things considered. Especially as I cool off on Cortland Sutton, who was another guy I was taking out here. I just do not like that news, man. That news has only gone one direction. It is not a positive one.
Yeah, man, I kind of out on the Cortland Sutton stuff.
Nope.
But that's not like a change of anything for me, really.
No, you were never. You were actually very, very firm, very early on that you were not going there, and it looks like that was the correct call. As that has aged, it has only looked more correct, actually.
B Sames 14 does not care. He takes Cortland Sutton at the 8 too.
I mean, again, I think for like best ball, he's probably priced like about appropriately. Like, I just don't. The idea that he could just lose his gig to Pat Bryant because they want him around for the playoffs. They're throwing around terms like load management. Eesh. Okay, we are going to chase later stacks, and we don't have one here, so we're going to leave incredible value on the board at the price of Justin Herbert. We're going to take Sam Laporta.
Yep. If I didn't feel like I was needing to catch up at wide receiver, that would have been my pick. But I felt like Godwin it falls off a little bit after him. I am chasing some Chris Godwin points this year with the absence of Mike Evans.
Yep, love Chris Godwin. Think he's has a chance to be one of the most mispriced assets in all of fantasy football. Surprised to see Jared Goff's ADP has been steadily rising all summer. Like, I thought the fantasy community thinks he's kind of boring. Jared Goff is my QB 8 or 9 this year in my rankings. I love Jared Goff. I plan on going into quite a few leagues with him as my starting quarterback this year because I'm totally happy to punt on the position if need be. But it is interesting that he keeps creeping up all summer. He's crept up from like the 112, 115 to like now he's 109. I think he's sub 110, somewhere around there. I was kind of hoping that could be like a little weird my guy that I was quietly into all year, but it seems like he's kind of popular, and he should be. I believe he should be. I think he's a very safe pick to anchor your quarterback room with late.
Man, the queue now is just like a bunch of quarterbacks.
Yep.
and I have Josh Allen in the boat, so I'm not liking those.
Yeah, so Ted gets the Josh Allen Cook stack. Walker, who again, man, not a my guy, but he is an everyone guy. I'm certainly nervous about that fade. McMillan, great anchor wide receiver, excellent three wide receiver follow up there. Bucky Irving, very good RB3 and modified robust RB start for Theodore.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bucky's very interesting this year. Like that feels like another one that I'm not certain in the role this year, but I am certain that he's significantly better than anyone else that's on that team.
Yeah, I don't typically for me, I'm not really thinking about who's better on the team. I'm thinking about who's going to be the more productive fantasy asset. And those two things I have very painfully learned over the years are not the same thing. But I think he's probably the most likely to be both, just the better player and the better fantasy asset. Certainly, if you came into the summer as a Bucky Bowl, I would say that everything has gone exactly the way you would have hoped so far.
I like the Bo Nix stack in the ninth there. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I was going for Goff and then hoping Knicks came back around, but this dude, did he take unstack? No, he probably has Amon Ra if he took Goff there. Yeah, he has Amon Ra.
He has
Smart.
Amon Ra and JMO.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, he has Amon Ra and yeah, I was never getting that. Again, he's creeping up, man. Look, that defense is terrible. Vegas projects him for the best offense in the NFL. He has three of the best weapons he's ever, anyone could ever throw to, and Jameer Gibbs. Really, he has the four best weapons in the NFL, in my opinion. I like Goff for a ceiling of 4,500 yards and 40 touchdowns this year. I think he may come out and be like the surprise of the fantasy community. I'm incredibly bullish about it. I'm so excited to load up on him come redraft, but for best ball, he has steadily risen, and I'm getting less and less as he goes. Hopefully, my stack stays up here.
So I feel like I'm gonna miss the boat on Baker here,
You know what? We're just
which
gonna.
is a bummer.
Sorry to interrupt you. We're just gonna go with an unstacked Purdy. I was gonna stack Love and Watson, but like Purdy, 15 picks past ADP is just better value, and I way prefer that room to Love. It would have been nice to get Love Watson, but we'll go out. Okay, so what is Ted doing? Is he okay? Ted continues his streak of loading up on Diggs before the price goes up, and that price will go up. That price is going to rise to around pick 100, I imagine. I think Ted is moving to where the puck will be, not where it is currently.
Yeah, I wanted Baker there to stack with Godwin and Bucky Irving, but I was like, well, I can't justify reaching that far down when it like Brock Purdy's on the board, who I think is just better.
Yep.
And I also have Josh Allen. So I was like, well, let's just build out the wide receiver room.
He might come around to you too. You don't know. Like sometimes he comes back. Sometimes he's there as late as like 1:30.
If you are tapped into the stream right now, please like and subscribe if you aren't already. And if you'd like to see when we go live more times, make sure to hit the bell. And if you do that, you'll get a nice little drop down on your phone if you aren't already getting it that says when we're going live. Because we are ramping up the streaming schedule here.
Yep. Trying to. Ideally, what I'd love to turn this into is people coming in with their mock drafts or their drafts they've done. Get draft grades, talk things over. That's my favorite thing to do. Tell us where you're picking from. We'll tell you who we would be taking at that cost, what we're aiming for, that whole thing. We'll continue to market them. It actually sucks. The leagues filled up so quickly this year, and then so many people have paid up actually already. I keep pushing them on Reddit, and people are saying, well, there's not space. I don't really know what to do. I did not expect to fill 180 slots as quickly as we did. We actually filled almost all of them. I think maybe in total there's like 30 or 20 open spots, and most of them are in the $200 double flex that just opened up this year. So, but yeah, stop and we will try to get you to play with us too. That is like the ultimate goal in my mind is, okay. So I've been taking a lot of KC Concepcion here. He's like one of my favorite values at cost. What are we? 27 picks past ADP. You know what? We'll see what comes around to us on the turn. We will take the value here. There are two 49ers receivers that I am looking to stack Brock Purdy with in this range now. The return of the man himself, Debo Samuel.
I was looking for Dalton Kincaid this round, but this asshat drafting at 3 just went for an uncorrelated Dalton Kincaid with his Herbert in love, so I'll take Mark Andrews instead.
Yeah. Yeah. Are we officially, is that like, can we put both our stamps on that we're a Mark Andrews podcast?
Yeah, that's
okay.
fair.
Okay. I'm going to draft a lot of Mark Andrews, man. I'm a happy Mark Andrews camper this year. The one dude, Indecent Exposure, shout out Indecent Exposure, using his tool this whole draft. Indecent Exposure has 30% Mark Andrews. 30% Mark Andrews. That is, yeah, it's wild. But I mean, I think it's so low cost. I think it's so low cost. This dude reaches way up for the Brenton Strange stack. I think that's fine when you have Trevor, but that's a big, it's 20 pick reach, 2 rounds. And this dude with Tank Bigsby, 110, just had to get your guy. All right. As is RB2, RB3. Okay.
So we are getting into dire straits with the quarterback position, but at this point, I think it's kind of like a Josh Allen hero quarterback build. So we're going to get Woody Marks RB4 in the boat.
Nice. We get our Debo Samuel down there. So this is how you recover, right, from a 3 running back start because you're putting yourself way behind the 8 ball. Jam this wide receiver depth. This is totally what the next article was dropping about, right? It's wide receiver strategy. My strategy in drafts, maybe I wouldn't go. I actually probably would go Jeremiah Love if this were redraft or Brees Hall, Josh Jacobs if they were there. But to me, this is how you build a robust RB build in best ball or redraft. Come out with your 2 studs. If you get a falling value, for me, the 2 guys that would force me to take a 3rd running back from this range this year are going to be Jeremiah Love or Josh Jacobs. If you get a falling value, hammer him there. Follow up with 4 wide receivers from this depth area. Again, I would not take Pierce in redraft. I would probably take Godwin over Pierce if this were like start-sit formats. But hammer 4 wide receivers. Get an anchor tight end at the falling value. Sam Laporte is one of my favorite values at tight end at the position. Get your late round quarterback. I would only take one of these guys in redraft, but you could take both if you want. And then go get your cheap upside picks later. I'm extremely satisfied with this build. 2, 3, 6, 1 so far. Ted.
Well, I mean, one of the things that we've said on this show is we're more interested in Stribling than Debo, and Stribling goes 2 picks after you. Are you just trying to mix up your correlations there, or are you more worried about the Stribling idea? What's the thinking there?
For best ball, for redraft, I want Stribling. For best ball, though, like if you're just talking about like what could win me $250,000 on a $5 entry, if Christian McCaffrey goes down and Debo Samuel gets the running back role, right, which is very unlikely, but it's like I think Debo Samuel would get a lot of running back reps. I think Debo Samuel's like a higher ceiling play. I think Stribling's going to be more startable week to week. That's sort of the difference between the two. Maybe that's like, I don't know, maybe I should re-examine it. Maybe that's inaccurate. I think, to me, though, for the biggest thing for redraft is probably going to be a cost thing. I think Stribling's going to be 30 picks cheaper. What do you think Debo gets around pick 100? Probably goes around like Quentin Johnston, like that range, right? Probably.
That's too expensive for me. But yeah, it's possible.
I think that's where we're heading. Okay. Gonna go with Jonah Coleman. Hopefully that key worked. Please don't tell me it took another running back. Okay, it did work. Okay, Jonah Coleman. Nice little upside swing with these three dudes. See what tight end comes around to us on the back end.
I'm gonna take Bryce Young here as my quarterback too. Only reason being the guy behind me has Jalen Coker, and I didn't want to get sniped there.
Bryce Young is a fantastic pick. I don't know why you would couch it like that. Couch it like you're not excited about him.
Oh well, it's correlated. The very rare correlated Bryce Young.
Yeah, sure.
The meme on the channel is people always pick Bryce Young without any of his receivers. But the last 2 drafts in a row, I've gotten Tet and Bryce.
I've never in my life, in redraft or best ball or anything, I've never drafted Bryce Young and been like, fuck yeah, man. Like, there we go. I got my guy.
Yeah, I don't really have any stacks on this roster with Josh Allen other than James Cook, but I don't really care.
I mean,
like, Josh Allen's just the best player.
James Cook, Josh Allen goes a long, long way. So one of my absolute favorites down here, he's looked really good in camp, Ryan Flournoy. Nice little ceiling to add to the room because I think he's going to have some spike weeks. And now we wait and see. I could have taken Juwan Johnson there, but I'm pretty happy with like this AJ Barner tier of tight end that emerges later. So we'll chill out on there. Juwan Johnson, though, that's a very good price on him if he's fallen into the 160s. I think he still gets plenty of work. I did not know that he played with Tyler Shuck in college. So those guys have played together. That's how old Tyler Shuck is. Those guys have played together for years. Thought that was kind of interesting for the chemistry argument there.
Yeah, I still need more wide receivers, but I took Zach Charbonnet there because this section specifically of wide receiver, where you're like shopping for Tesla, Flournoy, Trey Harris, A.D. Mitchell, Antonio Williams, kind of grosses me out. And the next round, like once you start getting down to like round 15, I feel like the wide receiver value there is more where I'm willing to shop for them.
Mm-hmm.
Oddly enough,
I think that's reasonable. For some reason, rightly or wrongly, I view these two dudes as like, was Ryan Flournoy a rookie last year? I think he was, right? Or is his 3rd year this year? I don't remember.
I think he was a rookie last year.
Okay, so I know Tesla was obviously a rookie. I just like them both as like 2 rookies that I thought had flashes, and then you're looking at, do they take a year 2 leap? Now in their offenses, right? They're behind Titans at the position. So what does a year 2 leap really mean? I don't know. But like, do I think if these guys are going to have 2 to 3 weeks each this year where they spike for like a low end or mid range RB2 or wide receiver 2 week? Yeah, I do. So that's kind of why I like taking them. It's not like I think they're gonna, they're not gonna break out into some premium asset or something. That's certainly not in their range of outcomes, I don't think, unless an injury occurs. But although I would say if there were such a thing as handcuff wide receivers, I would actually call Tesla and Flournoy handcuff wide receivers.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think they are. Like, I just think that they aren't going to be involved until someone gets injured.
Someone called Flournoy the Blake Corum of receiver, which I thought was pretty good. Yeah. Kind of is.
So we're gonna take A.D. Mitchell here. I'm gambling that I get Tank Dell coming back.
Nice. There goes Ferguson up in the 170s. Our Ferguson bags are in shambles.
The Ferguson hype is getting a little too much for me. Like,
it's I will 170s. Take some Ferg. It's the 170s. What do you mean that's too bullish?
No, but you were able to get him near the back end of drafts. Now he's slowly creeping up. Yeah, it's just like I prefer him to Sadiq, for example. Like, I'm not clicking Kenyan Sadiq under any circumstances. He's dealing with a hernia right now, which is not an easy injury to come back from either.
He is? I didn't see it.
Yes.
I missed that. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm not clicking that under any circumstances. Like, I'll take Ferguson over that. But, like, some guy took Juwan Johnson. like earlier this in the 15th round. Like I think that's a significantly better pick
Did you see
than
the
Terrence Ferguson.
Did you see the following his battle and survival from cancer? The 49ers fired Greg Papa. Why would you do that? Like after he came back, remember like that whole dramatic thing. Okay, we're gonna get a pretty late Greg Dulcich here as our tight end 3. We love that. Sam Laporta, AJ Barner, Greg Dulcich in the tight end room. That is awesome. So we have 2 more picks. Obviously, would like one of them to be a receiver here if possible. We have our regular suspects at running back. Absolutely love. So the way that my mind works in this preseason is when I have my priors about guys that I get excited about, I take all information that confirms them seriously. And then when anything that may disprove or go against my priors, I pretend didn't happen. And one of those guys that I'm super excited about is Nicholas Singleton. Nick Singleton is a freak in terms of like physicality. He jumps off the page at you, right? And he got a handoff yesterday. I just needed one clip to lose my mind. It was him getting a handoff from Cam Ward with the first team. And that is it. That was all I needed. So now Nick Singleton is on my boards, the Titans rookie who some thought could be a first-round pick running back, but never really got it together because he was like he has like bad vision. He has bad technical aspects of being a running back, but physically he's incredible. I believe he's like a 4.3 40 guy. So all I needed was one clip. I'm getting excitable about some round 18 Nick Singleton, so we may take a shot here for the first time this season.
When you've talked about Nick Singleton before, I feel like you come up with the most creative ways to call him an incredibly stupid person.
Yes. That's it. Yes, he does not see anything right. He's a dope, but he's really talented. Go watch some Nick Singleton highlights. Yes, that is it though. Yes, thank you. Oh, great.
We are missing First Partner Series 3, by the way, dropping on Walmart right now.
No, we're not missing it. We're missing again, I like the, okay, so I'm trying to come up with clean ways to say inappropriate stuff on this channel because it's funny. Oh, there goes Pat Bryant late. F word, speaking of that. No, we're missing sitting in the C word chair and watching bots absolutely go to Hammer Town on First Partner Series. We are not missing any of it.
Is he still available? Hold on. He is.
No, he's not. Don't do it. Oh.
You're picking before me.
Okay, nice. Okay, so we went on the rant. We're going to put our money where our mouth is. Running back 5, Nicholas Singleton.
I'm thrilled to get a Fernando Mendoza quarterback 3, 17 picks behind ADP there.
Yep, fantastic value. I feel like I've really, because I'm not complimentary about fantasy stuff unless I mean it. Like I'm pretty rude, I would say, about fantasy stuff in general. You certainly know that better than any human being on earth. But I do feel like lately you've absolutely been crushing your drafts. We'll see how I did. I actually loved both of mine today. I'm like really proud to enter those in the tournament. That's exactly how I like to build. Yeah, I'm excited about it. And again, this is going to be the price tag where I start ripping a lot of Jeremiah Love. If he goes 30 to 36 in redraft, that's too far. It's too much of a fade. I think the risk there is pretty low. If you're taking him as running back 15 and Ashton Genty was running back 15 last year and absolute bedlam around him, I think that's a pretty safe bet, right? So.
I'm going to take Ted Hurst.
Nice. Okay. We are going to take. We have a Brock Purdy roster here. It's weird. It won't let me pick guys out of my queue. That's another thing I have to tell Indecent Exposure about. We are going to take Christian Kirk as a late Brock Purdy stack. I think he still catches some bombs this year at some point. Okay, so that is it for me and Ted drafting today and in this particular draft. Ted's draft first. FTF Ted. Starts off with James Cook, Kenneth Walker III, excellent high testosterone start going with Josh Allen. Tedero McMillan, who we are keeping a candle lit for. I think he's going to be a pretty good player this year. I just don't know if he's going to be like a wide receiver 1. Bucky Irving, who the channel is warming up to as a whole here. Nothing but good news there. I'm curious about him. So modified robust RB start with a Josh Allen start, pretty hard thing to recover from, but Ted absolutely crushes the next four. Odunze, Jaden Reed, Chris Godwin, Stephon Diggs takes Kyle Pitts and Andrews in there. Really good tight end room. Marks, Bryce Young, Sharbs, Mitchell, Dell, Mendoza, Hurst, very, very good. That is how you recover from that start. If you end up with those 5 wide receivers, despite the fact that you have Allen, 3 running backs, and a tight end, you're pretty happy. For me, again, I absolutely love this kind of roster, man. I will build this all day and redraft if I have the opportunity to. It would probably be Cook here instead of Taylor, right, if it's a redraft, but Taylor, Henry, Love, Waddle, Watson, Thomas, Pierce, Laporta, Nix, Purdy, very strong quarterback room. I love both those guys. Casey Concepcion, Debo Samuel, Coleman, Flournoy, Barner, Dulcich, Singleton, my new man crush as a rookie, and then Christian Kirk, only a pick I'm making when I can stack him with Brock Purdy to wrap up drafts. Once again, shout out to Indecent Exposure for helping me track my portfolio while I'm going here. I recommend checking them out. And thank you guys for checking us out. These are our nightly streams. We're going to be doing them every night now through the rest of redraft season. We're going to have our wide receiver strategy. The channel's wide receiver strategy article. Ted does not endorse the wide receiver strategy, but it is our channel's content.
Let's be specific. I don't endorse Parker Washington.
Yeah.
I don't endorse that.
Yes, so I don't want to put his name on it. It's more that it is coming from the collective that is Free Tendies Fantasy that has some nuances and disagreements within said collective. Ultimately, though, we are working towards the same thing. We want you guys to think more thoroughly about fantasy, to win more championships, and to come along with us as we try to do the same. It's been really fun this summer. I think both me and Ted have gotten actually much better. Like, I've seen a lot of growth just from like us pushing this stuff harder between us personally, which is really cool. Like I think we're gonna run leagues this year. I really do. I'm very excited for it. I don't talk a whole lot of shit like that, but I feel very good about where things are ahead of redraft season 2026. Please like and subscribe if you're so inclined. If you want to try to take our money, we have a lot of money on the table, at least $1,500 across the redraft league. So come and take it. Discord linked, Substack linked. It's all free. We're not trying to sell you anything. Ted, anything to wrap things up? Oh, and Adrian, I love you, buddy. It's so good to see you. I hope you're doing all right. You farm animal. Ted, anything you want to leave the world with before we go?
No, you covered most of it. I was going to do the like and subscribe thing. But yeah, tap in whenever you get the notification. We'll be here.
Nice. And stay tuned. End of the month, we're going to be streaming 15 free Tendies Fantasy Leagues where me and Ted are going head-to-head in at least 3 of them. We will see how it goes. We're going to track the leagues all year, try to show you guys the anatomy of a redraft league winner. Thank you for watching. We will be back tomorrow, probably around the same time.